break. I never think about it. It's some time.
At Thursday they have a shir.
Thursday we have a shir, right? So it's really since Wednesday. We were in Atzala. We were Machazik Atzala. So just to wrap it up about tefillin, about sukkah, about sleeping. Okay? We came out that you're not allowed to sleep outside of sukkah. Why? Because you have to live in the sukkah the same way you live at home. So therefore, no sleeping outside the sukkah. What about a nap? A nap's not like a major sleep. I'll nap in my office. I'll nap in my car. So what's the story with napping? So we came out two mahalchim about napping. One person said that napping? No, that's a big problem. Napping is very dangerous. Why? Because you might fall into a deep sleep. No napping. That's pshat. Really, napping's okay technically, but you might come into a deeper sleep. So no napping outside the sukkah. Rava said, no. There's something fundamentally wrong with napping, because for a lot of people, a nap is their sleep. You can't. There's something like eating. Eating, you could make a difference between snacking and like a meal. Sleeping's not like that. Even napping is a sleep for some people. Therefore, napping outside the sukkah, you're done. Okay? Nobody holds you can nap outside the sukkah. But then we jumped into tefillin. What is a tefillin? It seems like you are allowed to take a nap. What's pshat? So one person said you cannot nap with your tefillin on. The only way you can nap is if you put your head between your knees in a really uncomfortable position. That was one mahalach. And the other mahalach was, no, you could take a nap with your tefillin on. Why? Because nothing's going to happen. It's just a nap. By sukkahs, there's fundamentally something wrong with napping, because napping could be a full sleep. But by tefillin, what it has to do with shema yafiach, there's nothing wrong with napping. So al kapanim, you're allowed to nap with your tefillin on, whether it means in an uncomfortable position or whether it means just to take a short nap. Either way you are, but sukkahs you're not allowed to. How long is a nap? How long? So that's what we're up to right now at the Chazard again. We're on Chavav Amid Aleph, second last line towards the end. The Kama Shenesarai, how long is a nap? Whether the nap is between your knees or whether you're allowed to take a nap because we're not scared, Shem Yafiach, don't get your hopes up, it's not so long. Tani Rami Bar Yecheskel taught, Kedei Hiluch Meya Amma, the amount of time it takes to walk 100 amas, an amma is between 1.5 feet and 2 feet, you're talking about less than 1 minute. That is your whole nap with your tefillin on. Tanya Nami Hachi, there's a brayso that says this as well, and we're going to see the raya from the Rabbanan Shita. But first we start with Rabbi Yaakov. And he holds, Ayashim tefillin, somebody who sleeps with his tefillin on.
Yaakov was Rebbe's Rebbe?
Yes. Rabbi Yaakov was the Rebbe of Rebbe. Thank you. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah. Hayashim tefillin, somebody who sleeps with his tefillin on. V'roya keri, and all of a sudden he sees a keri. Oiches b'ritzua, ve'en oiches b'ksitzah. You should take it off by grabbing the straps of your tefillin. Don't touch the bias. Why? Because you're sort of in a tummy situation. It's not like your hands are tummy, but you're like tummy-ish. So don't touch the actual tefillin, which are very holy. Touch the straps and remove them. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov. Rabbi Yaakov is an opinion I didn't even speak about till now. Rabbi Yaakov seems to hold you can take even deep sleeps to your tefillin on, because he says the guy got himself into a carry. Generally, you don't have a carry if you're in a light sleep, a nap. But he says, no, you could. What do you do when you have a carry? This is how you remove it. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov. The Chachamim say, Yashin Adam b'tefillin shenesara. You could take a nap with your tefillin on. Avaloi shenes but not a real sleep. The Kama shenesara. How long is a nap? Kedei hiluch me'ama. The amount of time it takes to walk 100 amas. That is the raya from this brayso, and this is where we're up to today. We're going to go off topic for a drop about sleep, and you're going to be shocked by this Gemara. Okay, the standing, sit down. What? Yeah. Because to me, it's a shock. When I learned this for the first time, I learned this a long time ago. When I learned this, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Says the Gemara, Omar Rav, says Rav, Aser la'adam lishan bayayim yoser mishena sasos. It is aser la'adam for a person, lishan to sleep bayayim during the day, not talking about by night, during the day, yoser more, mishenas hasos, more than a horse sleeps. You are not allowed. Why can't you sleep? We'll talk about how long that is in a second. Why can't you sleep during the day, take a nap? Why can't you go to sleep? The reason why is bittul Torah. You're not. There are those Rishonim that argue that's Rashi's mahalach, but it's because of bittul Torah. You are not allowed to sleep by day more than how much a horse sleeps. Okay, everyone's right. How much does a horse sleep? Like, is it a few hours? How bad is this?
Is this a sukkah then or is it year round?
Year round. Then do a sukkah. Totally year round. Totally year round. The kama shenas asos. Okay, let's see. Everyone's hearts is pounding right now. How long is a horse asleep? Shisin nishmi. 60 breaths. Horses, I didn't know this either if you went to a farm, horses do not sleep that much. The most they sleep is 60 of their breaths. 1, 2, 60 breaths.
Their breaths or human breaths?
Oh, very good. That was tiny good. What type of breath? What type of breaths are you talking about? First of all, you're assuming a horse might take a very long breath. So there's a big machlekes haposkim how long this is. I'll give you 3 shitas. One shita is be'er 2 to 3 hours. Wow. Because like Hillel says, I think it has to do with the horse's breaths, and they're much longer. Some people say it's a half hour, and some people say it's a little bit more than 3 minutes. Okay? The Bir Halacha, the Chavetz Chaim brings down, this is a halacha mefurashes in Shulchan Aruch. Okay, it's in Shulchan Aruch. And it's a machlekes. Reb Chaim Kanievsky and most Achronim go that the amount it is a half hour. And that's the general accepted approach.
It's not on Shabbos though.
Oh, very good. The Mishnah Berurah points out that Shabbos, you're allowed to, Einik Shabbos. It's a mitzvah to sleep.
Not just horses pretty long on
What?
At least 3 hours.
At least 3 hours, the higher shita. On Shabbos, it's a mitzvah. The Arizal never slept. Very, very little. He slept on Shabbos 2 to 3 hours. And people are actually shocked by that. They bring a ride from the Arizal that you see a lot of sleep, a horse's breath, 60 breaths is like 2 to 3 hours. Some people say, no, it's Shabbos. There's a discussion about the Arizal. What?
Maybe it was at night.
Could be that night, okay? I didn't say it's by day. It's by day. But we have from Rav, it is usher to sleep during the day, a horse's sleep, which is 60 breaths. I'm passing to Allah Lamaisa, it's a half hour. It's a half hour, that's the most general accepted approach. Okay? Oh, so wait 1 second. Wait 1 second so far it is. So far in this Gemara. Okay? Says the Gemara, this was Rav. Omar Abaya, says Abaya, Sheinose de Mar, the sleep of Mar, master. I wrote by Mar, Rabbah. And I'm going to talk about these people, give you a little bit of history in a few minutes about these people. But says Abaya, Sheinase, the sleep of Mar. Mar was Rabbah. It was Abaya's uncle. Just I wrote Rabbah on top. The sleep of Rabbah was Kidarav. Rabbah slept as much as Rav slept. Udarav and Rav slept as much as Kidarebi, like Rebbe slept. Udarebi and Rebbe slept Kidadavid, as much as David HaMelech slept. Udadavid and David slept Kidasusya, as much as a horse slept. Which I find very interesting, because it's just a little differently. It sounds like a sus is like a chashav person, right? Rebbe to Rav, and David like a horse. Right. Kiddasus is really like what it is now. And David slept like a horse. By the way, what's saying that? That's not Shayla. People say he slept like a horse, the guy. No, isn't that a shprach?
What do you mean? If we know about halacha is that horse that's what it is.
I hear it says he slept like a horse.
that they all slept like same amount as a horse.
They all slept like the Rebbe, who all slept like the mount of a horse.
Right.
Udasusa, and how much is a horse? Shisin nishmi, 60 breaths.
There was nobody between Rebbe and David that slept like a horse?
Oh, very good. So Rebbe is is from the dynasty of David HaMelech. So he says Rebbe got his mahalach not from earlier people, all the way back. They have a tradition from David HaMelech. That's how much he slept. I want to read this Gemara again with the history. Okay, a little bit of history here. What? Because it's Messiah going through each person. Also, there's a very interesting thing about sleep. Also, not everyone knows how much anyone sleeps, right? I don't know how much you slept today. It's hard to know. So it's more like people that really know each other. If it was the Rebbe, they have a Messiah. How did Rebbe know how much David slept, right? God, there's a whole Gemara and Brachas about it, but these are like Messiahs about what happened. But I want to read the Gemara again.
This is during the day.
Pashas is all during the day, and we'll get to that also in 1 second. They're all very good points. Just to start again, Rav started off with halacha, it's also to sleep by the day more than 60 breaths. Let's forget about that amount, how much it is. Okay, but 60 breaths of a horse. Says Abaya. Now Abaya's real name was not Abaya. Anybody know what his real name was? We spoke about it. His name was Nachmeni, Pashtas. It's not so clear, but his name was Nachmeni. His father died. He was a Yasim. His mother died. He was a Yasim. And he was raised by his uncle, Nachmeni. Basically, Abai had a father, whatever, which we just had in Zvachim. And you were learning Daf Yomi here. It was very random. His name was, it sounds like a basketball player, I know. His name was Kailil. It does sound like a basketball player. I was like, whoa, Kailil. So Abaya's father was a guy named, not a guy, his name was Kailil. And Kailil had a brother, Nachmeni. And when he died, Nachmeni took care of Abaya his whole life as a kid. And Abaya's name was Nachmeni. Why Nachmeni? Because the grandfather was Nachmeni. Abaya's real name was Nachmeni. He was called Nachmeni because his grandfather's name was Nachmeni. So there's a lot of Nachmenis in the family. His uncle was Nachmeni. His grandfather was Nachmeni. And his
father
was Kailil.
No, Rabba.
Rabba, we'll get to Rabba in this. Rabba? Rabba's father was Nachmeni, yeah.
Was Abaya.
Let's start again. There was a grandfather named Nachmeni.
Right.
Okay? He had a bunch of kids. One was Kailil, and one was also Nachmeni. I don't know why that father stunned up his name. Yeah, like Svardim. His name is Nachmeni. Kailil passed away. He had a son named Abaya. His son named Nachmeni also. Sorry, someone's name was Nachmeni. Nachmeni raised Nachmeni. But Nachmeni didn't want to call him by that name. I guess they have the same names, and his father's name was Nachmeni. He called him Abaya, which means like Av, like my father. So Abaya means like my father. Okay, that's who he was, Abaya.
Where does Rabba come into this equation?
Rabba was his uncle.
Rabba raised him.
Rabba raised him, and he was his uncle. Rabba
named Abaya.
Rabba nicknamed him Abaya.
Rabba raised him.
That's guy Nachmeni.
Rabba's name is Nachmeni also?
Rabba by
Sorry, sorry. Let's start again. Start again. I made a mistake. Thank you very much. There was a grandfather named Nachmeni. Someone confused me with the father, son, Svardi. There was a grandfather named Nachmeni. Okay? Nachmeni had a bunch of kids. One was Kailil, one was Rabba. Thank you. Kailil passed away. Their son was named Nachmeni, because based on the grandfather. Rabba took care of this Nachmeni, but nicknamed him Abaya. Okay? So when Abaya says, Sheinase Demar, how did Abaya know how much Rabba slept? Abaya was raised by Rabba. He was raised by his master, who was Rabba bar Nachmeni. Okay, that's how he knew him.
Wouldn't it have been easier to say like that Rabba slept like a?
But we know Rabba never said anything. We only know from Abaya who's saying that Rabba. We don't even know this.
Also, he wants to say that he saw it.
And where did Rabba get it from? Kidarav. Now, what Sheikhah says, how does Rabba know how much Rav slept? Right? How do you know about that? Rabba to Rav. So again, one thing about Rav. Rav's name was Abba Bar Evu. Rav Abba Bar Evu, that was his real name. When we say like Rebbe's like the one who taught the Messiah to call him Rebbe. Rav is like the Rebbe in Bavel. Rebbe was in Eretz Yisrael. When we say Rav, it's like, like in the YU they call him the Rav, right? The Rav is like the big person. So Rebbe was in Eretz Yisrael, like Rebbe, and Rav was like Rav in Bavel. Okay, so Rav was like a major person. What did you say? Rav Shaber is called the Rav.
Who's this Rav? What's his name?
His Rav Abba Bar Evu. Okay? He learned his sleep. Rabba bar Nachmeni learned how much to sleep from Rav. Okay? He learned it from him. This one he learned. Okay? Rabba learned it from Rav. And then Rav learned it from Rebbe. How did Rav know Rebbe? Because Rav grew up in Rebbe's house. Okay? Rebbe was like the one who wrote the Mishnayos. Rebbe had a Messiah from David HaMelech. He slept like a sus. Okay? And that is how we know that you're not allowed to sleep more than 60 nishmin. Okay? Now, somebody brought up a point, Aryeh maybe, I forgot who said this. David Pashtus was only didn't even sleep like a horse at night as well. He didn't sleep during the day, and at night he only slept a little bit. So David even went past this, even by night. So if you open up a Shulchan Aruch, okay, so what's halacha l'maisa on this? You open it up, it's in Siman Dalet and Shulchan Aruch. It's also way later. It's brought down that This is what David did, and it sounds like it's more of a chumrah. It's more of a chumrah, even though it sounds like it's aser. It's Amiroim saying this. It was their hanhaga. They got it from David, and it's a chumrah that there is an inyan to be machmer, not to sleep more. You maybe could line the bigger sheet of more than 3 hours, or more than a half hour, more than 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes in a drop during the day. And the Shulchan Aruch says it way later. He says, better not to sleep, but if you do, if you need to learn, then you could sleep. So it is a real thing. If somebody says, I try not to sleep during the day, he's on target. That guy's on target.
Only if
It's
he's
a-
learning.
What?
Only if he's learning.
Oh yeah, right. There's no wasting time. Right,
Sleeping
exactly.
past the lights.
Yeah.
If you sleep past the lights,
Yeah.
then you're sleeping in.
So it's a good point. On Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah Zalman Auerbach says, everyone's all busy about sleeping by day. On Rosh Hashanah, you're sleeping past the lights till 9. We had daven here at 8 o'clock, right? What's going on there? So people say it's about going to sleep during the day. But if my night extended, it's not like I'm being mavaza like the Yema did. My night went a little further. But to go to take a nap during the day, so you're not supposed to take a nap during the day. It's a chumrah. It's not lach l'mais in terms of it's aser, like that lashon, but it's a real thing. And on Shabbos, it's 100% mutter. Shabbos not. But during the day, yes. Okay? That's what he says. We have a little story here. Abaya, who's one saying this whole tradition here, listen to this. Abaya have a noyim, Abaya would sleep, kideme'ayil mepumpadisa lebekube. He would sleep kideme'ayil, like the amount of time to go up from Pumpadisa to a place called Beikube. Abaya shluft, it's like saying he shluft from here to Lakewood. Okay? I looked at a map of Bavel. Beikube and Pumpadisa are very close to each other. Rashi, it's a Pella. Everyone goes crazy on Rashi for this. Rashi says they're about 6 parsa'is away from each other. It's like about 7 hours. And everyone goes crazy. How could Rashi have said Abaya slept for 7 hours? He's giving all these speeches. You're not allowed to sleep too long. So I don't know how long it was. It was longer than everybody else here. Abaya himself slept from going from Pumpadisa to Beikube. And guess what Kari alei Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef said this pasuk on him. I'm going to do this sometimes. Like instead of like saying a line, I should do this one time. Just say a pasuk on the guy, you know? It's like a move. I should go move on the guy. Next time I see something. You know what says about you in the Torah? Okay, so Rav Yosef says, is a pasuk in Mishlei. I'll read it first and I'll translate it. Ad Mosai Otzel Tishkav. Mosai Toku Mishnah Secha. Ad Mosai, until when Otzel lazy you on Tishkav will you sleep? Mosai Toku Mishnah Secha. When will you get up from your sleep? It's a pasuk in Mishlei, of course, teaching you to be more, zarez and not to be so lazy. Rav Yosef said in Abaya, how long will you be so lazy for to take a nap like this during the day? Unclear how long Abaya slept, but it was longer than all these measurements.
What happened to him saying that it's like Rob?
Well, he didn't do like what he said. Yeah, he took a longer sleep. Maybe it happened one time that he was so tired, he was up the whole night. He slept. Rav Yosef said, "You're a lazy one." No, on the Abaya's level. I don't know if he did it every day, but he did it at least one time. He slept past that amount.
Somebody's up a lot in the night, someone they could take a longer nap.
So it's brought down, if a person needs it for his keiches to learn, that's where it comes up. If you need your keiches to learn and to go weiter, that's fine. But to stop take a nap is not a Yiddish shazach, technically, unless even if you're keiches. And if you do, for your enjoyment, right? Let's say for enjoyment, I just want to take a nap, snooze. It's bein zmanim. It shouldn't be longer than a half hour. Or whatever. There's a sheet of 3 hours, so go with the 3 hour sheet. But not longer than 3 hours. Or 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We'll stop over here by the Tanur Rabban.
What's the
They all are very bothered by it. Bring down Neder Yehuda. They all shtel in this